Welcome back. I know y'all watch that bullshit. Let's get right into it.
Bullshit is an understatement. To be completely honest, this was
Tragic.
It was lackluster. It was woeful. It was...
Every adjective you can think of for bad. It was that.
It was negative. So negative.
Poor.
Everything about it. You've seen it. 1-0 loss to Panama for the USMNT. I don't even really know where to start. I mean, do we start with the manager aspect? Do we start with the player aspect? Because everybody's getting it, right? Okay, like full disclosure.
And they deserve it.
Before anybody, we get in the comments if anybody says anything about Berhalter. Look, he should have been gone. Doesn't make a difference. We are here now.
We're building something new.
We don't
get used to it.
We're not worried about Berhalter. Okay, we're moving forward. Go ahead. All right.
He reached his ceiling.
Yes.
We're going to leave it at that.
He definitely reached his ceiling, and it's time for us to go to new and better things. We thought we were going to see new and better things. This Nations League...
In the first tournament, too.
Yeah, this Nations League is really important because it's not too many games that Pochettino's going to get to play with this USMNT team.
And we've never lost.
Yeah, to develop and before the World Cup. Like, we don't have a lot of games. We don't have a lot of time.
Not a lot of camps.
And then we go and lose the first game to Panama.
Semi-final. I mean, you have to show up for that game, and you have to do better with the chances that you created, of the few chances that they did create. I mean, Poch deserves a lot of stick. The players, a lot of stick. Like, this is everybody. Like, everybody deserves it. Because a lot of times we saw... players that weren't quite sure what to do next with the ball. Yeah. They string together 3 or 4 passes, and then it's like it amounts to nothing. Yeah. It rotates back, and it just goes over and over again. We keep the possession so much, and it ends up in nothing, and we paid for it.
Starting with the players, I think that's the biggest letdown, I think, of the whole game, the whole situation. I think the players are very much to blame for a good majority of what we saw.
I agree.
With the player pool we have, we can argue about who should have been selected, who should have been in the starting lineup, whatever, yada, yada. I mean, Panama had their fair share of injuries and missing players. Yep. Even then, I think it's still just so disappointing to see this group of players not put up any sort of fight, any sort of performance, really throughout the whole 90 minutes, it felt like.
It was really one of those performances where you're just like, why are you not on that second ball? Why are you not making that second effort? It just wasn't there. The extra spark wasn't there. And I don't know if it's players getting used to the system, right, or a manager getting used to where he needs to put certain players and where they need to be. I have no idea, but it needs to start pretty quick, and it needs to start clicking pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to see. I love McKinney, right? A guy who really did not show a lot in this game. In a 10 role, we had 2 for the lineup. We could go into the lineup, right? Turner in goal.
Pretty wrong.
Turner in goal. I thought he'd be in there. Yeah, we were both pretty wrong on our predicted 11. Yeah. But we were, obviously there were the obvious players that would be in there. But hits, in terms of positioning and whatnot.
6 out of 11.
Yeah. Turner's in there. Scally at left back. Not really used to that, but he played there. Tim Ream, Richards, and Musa. Musa, who's playing like a right back, right mid, like sort of weird.
Should have thought about that.
Right. Midfield, Tanner Tessman, Tyler Adams, McKinney, Pulisic, Weah, and Sargent, right? Pretty straightforward. That's a winning team against Panama all day. None of these guys really showed up. I think defensively, throughout the 90, we were okay. I mean, we didn't really give them too many big opportunities, which I think is a credit to, Tyler Adams. I think he did all right, taking out some chances. defense. Tim Ream looked okay for 38 or 39-year-old Tim Ream.
Yep.
You know what I mean, running around.
Richards did what we expected him to do.
Yeah,
Had a pretty solid game.
Okay all around from the defense. Like okay, you know what I mean. Not too much they had to do because overall, I mean, this Panama team was set up in like a 5-4-1. Real, and they also made it real narrow. I mean, they were fighting for every second ball. I mean, they were doing everything we weren't. Honestly,
they just showed more hunger, more attitude, like more of what we've been asking of our players for this country,
this generation,
for them to do so much. Make those second and third efforts. Be there. Be the third man runner. Be the extra person that we need to actually try and create some chances. Yeah. And nobody was doing that. Yeah, there was a run in behind, and then when they don't get fouled, it's oh my gosh, what are we doing here? But no, it's get back on side, make the run again. Eventually somebody's going to find you. Like, they're all professional footballers. They should be able to find somebody eventually. Keep making those efforts.
Tanner Tessman, somebody who should have been finding people who didn't have a really good game at all. Musa, I thought, had a really bad game. He should be doing more. Weah, creatively, I think he needs to be doing more. When you think about Panama, I mean, they were trying to tighten it up. They were locking it down pretty much the whole game as expected. You need players like Musa and Weah getting after it, getting behind, moving the ball up. But we didn't see any of that. McKinney, I also think he could be doing more. I don't see him as a 10, to be honest.
A little too advanced for me.
Too advanced. I think he should have been there alongside Tyler Adams, honestly, kind of floating a little bit more. But that wasn't the case. We'll get into who should have been subbed on and who wasn't. But in terms of who was on the field, it just wasn't good enough. Like, all around the pitch. And honestly, Pulisic, this guy, I mean, he's our star boy. Didn't do a lot at all. Didn't get on the ball very much at all. They weren't finding him. There was not enough forward passes into dangerous areas. They weren't trying anything, really. It just felt so lackluster and dry. The whole first half. Second half, kind of the same thing. We turned it up a bit, very marginally. When I say a bit, very little did we turn it up. But it's just the fight. I mean, we just had we honestly walked on the pitch and acted like we were just gonna walk on and win, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that arrogance. It felt like
there's so many of those times that we've had with this team and a lot of these players that it's like. Yeah, we expect to go onto this pitch and win, and we expect to dominate. And, with the ball and possession, yeah, you do dominate. But it also has been in the past where in crucial moments, like this moment here, we don't show up. Whether it's the attitude or the physicality, or it's always something. It's always some issue that they don't show the right attitude in this game in particular. But in other games, they just don't show up when the lights are the brightest. And then, you've got some great performances from players in the past, like Pulisic and McKinney, who just weren't able to create that spark. And is it on the people around them to try and help them more? Kind of, but at the same time, this is a new system. They're getting used to each other in a new way to play with each other. And it's all up in the air right now, and it's annoying to see some of the old habits continue into this new regime, basically.
Yeah, it's disappointing overall. I think his name Waterman goes on. We'll talk about it. Panama.
Yep.
They did exactly what they wanted to do. Played a tight game, 5-4-1, something like that. They really were really, really tight and narrow. I know it's a 5-4-1, but we had nobody getting in behind. We had nobody trying to attack, getting behind that line. The whole time, I mean, they defended well, held it tight, didn't give us really any great chances. I mean, they blocked. Sargent had a chance from McKinney.
Offside.
Blocked. Yeah, we had an offside goal. Disappointing, though, honestly, for the chance creation. But that's credit to Panama and the way they defended. Yeah. They go on. Second half, same thing. Tightened up.
They did exactly what they needed to do.
Exactly as their coach would have written it up to beat the USA. That's exactly how they needed to win that game. It's exactly what they're going to do against Mexico, too. They deserved to be in the final. They were tight. They were not letting us go through at all whatsoever. They go on, score in the 94th minute. It had to be, of course, right in the last minute of the game, just to break everybody's hearts. More on the manager now. He could have done more. The subs we brought on during the game
were not it.
Terrible. Absolutely don't understand it. Why we didn't bring on Gio Reyna or even Diego Luna at some point. We seen the
Somebody
press
with
conference.
creativity.
Yeah, we seen the press conference later on. He's talking about he would have brought him on after the 90, but like, why are we playing for a draw against Panama at home, right? Like, that shouldn't be.
That's alarm bells right there.
That is a Pochettino issue. The subs, okay, and then when you see Panama playing like they are, tell Weah to get on the ball, Pulisic to get on the ball, players to get in behind. I mean, something. You
Drop
need to
deep,
take over.
Get the ball.
Yeah, you need to take over as a manager and recognize what Panama's doing and do something about it. And you see we can't create, and you don't bring on a creative guy. It's like, how do you not even, like, everybody at home can see it.
I mean, we fully expected going into this game, just like Poch probably did, Panama to sit back and really hold and try and soak up all the pressure and all the shots and all the chances created to try and, keep that wall and keep it a tight game. And that's exactly what they did. And how he didn't think, oh, hey, maybe I need to have, some of the more creative players instead of the slower, more possession-based players. Like, no, somebody that can get in behind so they can create a chance all on their own, like Pulisic, like Gio Reyna, who got 0 minutes. Like, these players are people that are going to be so important and that are exactly what the team needs in that moment, but they don't get the minutes, and it's frustrating to see.
Panama, they go on win 1-0. Good win for them. They deserved it, to be completely honest. They're going to go play Mexico in the final on Sunday. It's going to be also the USMNT playing in the third place game against Canada Sunday. Anything other than a win is obviously disappointing, but at the same time, it's a third place game, so it's like, how up for it are they really going to be? I don't really know what to expect, honestly, from this third place game. That's like, it's kind of where I'm at. That performance really was kind of like a slap in the face to a lot of fans. I really felt like these guys just went out there, thought they were going to win the game just because it's USA and we're facing Panama.
And I think the coach even thought that too.
Yeah.
It's annoying to see that was one of the things that coming into this, we were expecting every single game to be so important because we know we have such a short period of time until the World Cup is here on our home soil. So we need to make the opportunity or the most out of every opportunity. Every single one. It doesn't matter if it's the A, B, C team. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's under 18s. Everybody needs to be on the same page. Everybody needs to be giving the maximum amount of effort, having the correct attitude, having the correct body language on the pitch, doing the things that professionals should do in preparation for the upcoming World Cup. The biggest event that you will ever have in your professional playing career. A World Cup that you get to play in and you host.
At home soil.
It's the biggest opportunity anyone could ever ask for in soccer.
It's honestly the future of the sport in our country. Like, it really, if the USA just shits the bed, right?
It's going to set us back 15 years.
It's going to set us back. It's going to set us back quite a bit. And so we need a big, big performance in that. And so these games are crucial.
Yeah.
So we lose this against Panama. We go play Canada in third place. It's, like I said, don't really know what to expect. It's just kind of disappointment right now. Yeah. Even if we do win, it'll feel a little better, but it's just the third place game. It's Canada. We need to do something. We need to win. We have to win.
We have to win.
We have to win.